In the grand tapestry of the universe, there exists a fundamental principle that governs the very essence of existence itself, the law of polarity. This timeless law reveals the intricate and mesmerizing dance of opposites that weaves through the fabric of reality, reminding us that life is a symphony of contrasting forces. It is a law that transcends cultures, beliefs, and time, and it invites us to explore the profound interplay of light and dark, good and evil, love and fear. The law of polarity teaches us that every quality, experience, or concept has its opposite. Just as there cannot be light without darkness, pleasure without pain, or happiness without sadness, the existence of one pole inevitably implies the existence of its complementary counterpart. This law offers a lens through which we can perceive the delicate equilibrium that underlies the universe and, indeed, our very lives. One of the most profound lessons this law imparts is that these opposing forces are not enemies, but rather partners in a cosmic dance. They are the yin and yang of existence, each playing its part in the intricate choreography of life. As we embrace this truth, we come to understand that the contrast and tension between opposites give rise to growth, evolution, and the very essence of life itself. Consider the duality of light and dark. The sun rises, and the world is bathed in its warm, illuminating glow. But as night descends, darkness envelops us, and the world retreats into a profound stillness. Is darkness the absence of light, or is it a necessary part of the cycle, offering respite and rejuvenation? We are quick to label one as good and the other as bad, but the law of polarity reminds us that both light and dark are essential, and it is in their coexistence that we find balance. In our human experience, we often find ourselves navigating the polarities of pleasure and pain. We seek pleasure and avoid pain, but without one, we cannot truly appreciate the other. Pain can be a profound teacher, revealing our vulnerabilities and pushing us to grow. Pleasure, on the other hand, provides the sweetness of life, giving us moments of joy and fulfillment. These experiences are not enemies, but rather two sides of the same coin, each offering its own unique lessons. Perhaps one of the most challenging aspects of the law of polarity is its application to our understanding of good and evil. We are often quick to label actions or individuals as good or evil, but this law asks us to consider a more nuanced perspective. Good and evil are not absolute, but rather dependent on our perspective and the context in which they are experienced. The same action may be seen as virtuous by one and villainous by another. This law invites us to recognize the shades of gray in a world we sometimes want to see in black and white. Love and fear are another pair of polar opposites that have a profound impact on our lives. Love is often celebrated as the highest human emotion, while fear is considered a negative force to be overcome. Yet the law of polarity teaches us that fear is not the enemy of love, but rather its shadow. It is through facing our fears that we can fully appreciate the power and depth of love. Love and fear are intertwined, and when we understand this, we can begin to release the grip of fear and allow love to shine through. The law of polarity also encourages us to embrace the natural ebb and flow of life. Just as the tides rise and fall, so do the circumstances of our lives. In times of challenge and adversity, we can find solace in knowing that they are but temporary phases. When we are at the peak of success and happiness, we can humbly acknowledge that these moments too shall pass. This law reminds us that life is a series of cycles, and by accepting the inevitability of change, we can navigate these cycles with greater grace. The law of polarity is a profound reminder that our judgments and perceptions of the world are often limited and incomplete. It encourages us to broaden our perspectives, to see the world in all its richness and complexity, and to transcend the limitations of dualistic thinking. When we understand that the dance of opposites is an integral part of our existence, we can begin to embrace the full spectrum of life with gratitude and humility. To apply the law of polarity in our lives, we must learn to navigate the tensions between opposites with wisdom and discernment. We can seek the middle path where we acknowledge the existence of both poles and aim for balance. We can learn to appreciate the value of each experience, even when it appears contrary to our desires. We can practice compassion and empathy, recognizing that every individual, no matter how different from us, is a part of this grand cosmic dance. The law of polarity, as explored in the realm of the unconscious mind, reveals an intriguing dimension of human psychology and the intricate interplay of opposites that shape our inner world. To understand the law of polarity in the context of the unconscious mind is to dive into the depths of the psyche, where light and shadow, consciousness and the unconscious intertwine in a dance that holds the key to self-discovery and personal growth. The unconscious mind is a vast and mysterious realm, where the majority of our thoughts, feelings and memories reside outside of conscious awareness. It is a place where opposites coexist, shaping our thoughts and behaviors in ways that often elude our conscious understanding. Here, the law of polarity takes on a profound significance as it illuminates the dualistic nature of the unconscious and its influence on our lives. One of the most fundamental dualities within the unconscious mind is the interplay between the conscious and the unconscious. The conscious mind represents our everyday awareness, the thoughts we intentionally think, and the decisions we consciously make. In contrast, the unconscious mind operates below the surface, governing much of our behavior without our conscious consent. These two aspects of the mind are like the visible tip of an iceberg and the vast submerged mass below, with the unconscious mind exerting a powerful but often hidden influence over our thoughts, emotions, and actions. The law of polarity teaches us that these two realms of the mind are not adversaries but collaborators, engaged in a dance of opposites. The conscious mind is the light of awareness, and the unconscious mind is the shadowy counterpart. It is through the interplay of these two aspects that we navigate our inner world, shedding light on what has been hidden and making sense of the seemingly inexplicable. The conscious mind is characterized by reason, logic, and rationality, while the unconscious mind is the realm of emotion, intuition, and instinct. These are not opposing forces, but rather complementary aspects of our cognitive and emotional processes. The conscious mind is the beacon of our logical thinking and decision-making, but it is the unconscious mind that holds the emotional and intuitive wisdom that guides our choices. Consider the polarities of desire and resistance within the unconscious mind. Our conscious desires are often clear and straightforward. We may consciously desire success, happiness, or fulfillment. However, the unconscious mind can contain deep-seated resistances, fears, or self-sabotaging beliefs that act as counterforces. The interplay between these desires and resistances can shape our choices and behaviors in ways that might seem contradictory or puzzling. The unconscious mind often holds the key to unraveling this dance of opposites as it brings to light the hidden fears, traumas, and unresolved conflicts that underlie our conscious desires. The law of polarity also manifests in the archetypal imagery and symbolism that arise from the unconscious mind. Carl Jung, the renowned Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, explored the idea of archetypes as universal symbols that emerge from the collective unconscious. These archetypes are dualistic in nature, representing opposing forces and themes that are fundamental to the human experience. For example, the archetype of the hero embodies the duality of courage and fear, while the archetype of the shadow represents the darkness and hidden aspects of the self. These archetypal dualities are woven into the tapestry of human consciousness, and by recognizing and working with them, we can gain insight into our own inner conflicts and struggles. The interplay between the conscious and unconscious minds is often likened to a tug-of-war, with the conscious mind striving to maintain control while the unconscious exerts its powerful influence. The law of polarity reminds us that this struggle is not a battle between good and evil, but a dynamic tension that is essential for personal growth and self-discovery. The conscious mind can provide structure and direction, while the unconscious mind brings depth and nuance to our experiences. By acknowledging and embracing this duality, we can begin to integrate the wisdom of the unconscious into our conscious awareness. Dream analysis is another powerful tool for exploring the law of polarity within the unconscious mind. Dreams are a window into the depths of our psyche, where the unconscious mind communicates through symbols, metaphors, and imagery. In dreams, we often encounter the juxtaposition of opposites, where the conscious and unconscious minds engage in a symbolic dialogue. Dreams can reveal hidden desires, fears, and conflicts, inviting us to explore the interplay of opposites that shape our inner world. The law of polarity within the unconscious mind also extends to the concept of the shadow, a central element of Jungian psychology. The shadow represents the hidden, often repressed aspects of ourselves that we are unwilling to acknowledge or accept. It is the repository of our darkest fears, desires, and insecurities. Embracing the shadow is a process of integrating these hidden aspects into our conscious awareness, recognizing that the shadow is not the enemy, but a vital part of our psyche. By shining the light of consciousness on the shadow, we can uncover hidden talents, creativity, and resilience that have been concealed in the depths of the unconscious. Furthermore, the law of polarity is evident in the dynamics of projection, a defense mechanism in which we unconsciously attribute our own disowned qualities or emotions to others. When we project our own shadows onto someone else, we create a dualistic narrative in which we cast them as the villain and ourselves as the innocent victim. Recognizing projection is a powerful step toward self-awareness, as it invites us to explore the interplay of opposites within ourselves and reclaim those disowned qualities or emotions. The law of polarity also plays a significant role in our emotional life. Emotions are not simple, one-dimensional experiences, but are characterized by a spectrum of opposites. For instance, love and hate, joy and sorrow, hope and despair are emotional polarities that shape our inner landscape. Our emotional experiences are often a dynamic interplay of these opposites, and by understanding this, we can navigate our emotions with greater wisdom and empathy. The unconscious mind is also a reservoir of memories, both positive and negative, that shape our beliefs and behaviors. Traumatic experiences in particular can leave a lasting imprint in the unconscious, and the law of polarity is evident in the contrast between the conscious desire for healing and the unconscious wounds that continue to influence us. Through therapeutic approaches such as psychoanalysis, cognitive behavioral therapy, or EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, individuals can work to bring these opposing forces into balance and ultimately find resolution. The law of polarity within the unconscious mind invites us to explore the concept of duality in the realm of time. The past and the future are opposing forces that shape our present experiences. The past holds our memories, experiences, and conditioning, while the future represents our hopes, dreams, and aspirations. The interplay of these temporal opposites influences our choices and behaviors as we strive to reconcile our past with our vision of the future. The present moment is where these opposing forces converge, and by bringing conscious awareness to the past and future, we can make more deliberate and empowered choices in the present. In the realm of creativity, the law of polarity within the unconscious mind is a wellspring of inspiration. Creative individuals often draw from the interplay of opposites to generate innovative ideas and works of art. In conclusion, the law of polarity invites us to embrace the complexity and beauty of life. It reminds us that the world is not divided into absolutes, but exists in a state of continuous, dynamic balance. By understanding and appreciating the interplay of opposites, we can navigate the ever-changing landscape of our lives with grace, equanimity, and a deeper sense of interconnectedness. The law of polarity beckons us to let go of our judgments and rigid beliefs, and instead to open our hearts and minds to the harmonious dance of opposites that is the essence of our existence.